Hi, so I am KB with Nerdophiles. How are you both?
Doing
Great.
great. So nice to see you.
Lovely to see you both as well. Listen, this show has some fantastic performances by the both of you. So I'll just dive right in. My question is for each of you, but I will start with you, Tanzyn, to answer first. How does Claire's constant battle with her own grief and her own guilt really impact Danny and Ray and their relationship with each other over the course of this season?
Well, I feel like it felt to me like Ray felt like she didn't have a place in Claire anymore. Like Claire just had so much going on that it was like, am I important anymore? And then, I mean, just from Ray's perspective, Claire then like overcompensated by being way too over the top parenting wise. Um, so I think that just like really pushed them apart. And then also in Ray's mind, their like family unit is like one of the most important things to her. And Claire's like the driving force in something potentially happening to it. So yeah, I think that really put a barricade between both of them and maybe like pushed her even more to Danny, who I feel like Danny and Ray already have a solid relationship. And then I guess that like even more so ostracized Claire. The fact that Danny and Ray were like closer than, you know what I mean? So it like the whole dynamic was like a push and pull in a million different directions.
Oh, I like that, a push and pull. What about you, Quentin, from, Danny's perspective? How does, kind of this own self-destructive mode that Claire's in, or cycle rather, that she's in, how does that really impact, Danny and Ray's relationship? And how does it impact Danny just, solo as her husband?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I think Danny, in a sense, really wanted to hide what was going on between him and Claire from Ray. And especially, you know, I, the college fund thing, that's a big deal, just to give away a college fund. Like that's a big deal, especially not to talk to me at all about it. And so that I think that along with other things that were going on at the time, just like really forced Dan to be like, what is going on here? Like you, whoever I know you to be, whoever I love is like not really there right now. And I've got to focus on raising this child. And you've shown that at least right now, you can't really be a part of that process because it's not just that me and you have issue. It's not just that me and you are feeling some kind of disconnect. You're now taking away from our child's future, which I personally don't have any time for. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's tough. And I think all that's tough when it's like, you know, it's hard to, not that I know this from personal experience just yet, but it's hard to raise a human being. And it's probably even harder when you feel like you're fighting against somebody to do that. Um, and so yeah, I mean, just the street that she was on or the place that she was in, I think I also think personally Danny was going through stuff that he was confused about who he was at the time in general and feeling kind of not satisfied with who he was in general. But in a sense, this kind of gave him something outside to worry about to mask some of those other stuff. So you kind of latch on to that, like, oh, I fixed this. Oh, I get ready to college. Oh, you're you. It also lets you kind of, put some of the harder inner work at the back burner as well. So yeah, I mean, just like so many levels to it, so many things to go through. And very much like Tanzyn said, Claire and her actions were really a driving force and just kind of throwing everybody, upside down at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that the series does a really good job of being able to show such human aspects of these characters, in a way that is relatable, but also in a way where you're looking from the outside and like, no, stop. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
even to the point where, since you brought up the college fund, when the therapist calls it, I can't remember the exact phrase, but something to the point of like financial,
Infidelity.
like
oh yes,
infidelity,
that is
right?
it.
Yes.
Financial infidelity. Yep.
Financial, thank you so much. Yeah, the financial infidelity. I was like, whoa, I never thought about that. But
Yeah.
even in those moments, it's almost as if Claire's not, she's not thinking of how that truly impacted her family and
Yeah.
what that looks like. She's still really stuck on herself. And a
Yeah.
lot of that is just because she hasn't dealt with her grief and she hasn't, kind of dealt with a certain level of trauma. But then you find out that everyone's dealing with trauma, even Ray and even Danny. And so I just think it's kind of this beautiful, complex puzzle piece, so to speak. But I
100%.
think that you both did a fantastic job, and I can't wait for
Thank you.
everyone to see it. And just thank you so much for taking the time to chat with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, Kay. Truly.